Boys, what's poppin'? We got another video. Sneako became a different person again. This guy is a grifter. That's the only definition of Sneako. When people ask me, what is a Sneako to you? I say a grifter. So let's go.
I don't know if you guys have seen Sneako in the news recently, but he's like on the news for like being like an Islamic now, and he's debating Alex, and they're just talking about some bullshit. What the f happened to Sneako, bro? He was like one of my favorite YouTubers ever, bro. 2018 to 2020, like so good. I don't know what happened. I think drugs fried his brain or something.
That video was taken about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and I do think that it's a valid question. Every time that you look up, you are probably asking yourself.
Yeah, I used to make some good creative videos, but I never seen it because I got Wi-Fi in 2022. So most of the things which happened before that, I don't really know any of them.
So for questioning the internet, hey, what actually happened to Sneako? Well, now the update is in. This
nigga is gay, bro. Shit. This is the type of nigga you expect to see in Philippines.
A new version, and it is stranger than ever. Sneako has taken on this new persona.
Nah.
He's got the glasses, he's got the suit, he's got the tie.
Yeah, I got a suit, bro. This shit is weird, man. And mad corny.
He has the black power fist, and now
This nigga is Malcolm X now. This nigga thinking Malcolm X. Insane.
he's taking on the persona of civil rights leader Malcolm X.
Dude, you see his Malcolm X LARP? First of all, you're not black, you're mixed. There's nothing Afro-American about
this slop is insane. The guy went and got the same exact glasses, bro. That's how you know somebody just wanna be somebody, bro. You remember this guy 2022? He literally wanted to be Andrew Tate. He literally wanted to be Andrew Tate. Copy paste. Andrew Tate became a Muslim. All of a sudden, Sneako is a Muslim. Oh, the Muslim is the light to life. Like, what the fuck? Now nigga wanna be Malcolm X? Maybe you see that they have the same head shape and it was like, maybe I can put that shit off. But no one gonna see you trying to imitate Malcolm X and gonna take you seriously. Because Malcolm X was never the type of person Sneako is.
you. You're Filipino, Haitian, and Hungarian Jew. You're not like him.
There's no way this nigga Filipino and I guess they're right, bro. Insane.
That's one. Two, Malcolm X was smart. You're
Facts.
an idiot and a LARPer, and
Facts.
you're someone struggling with some kind of deep-seated identity issues.
Malcolm X was always one of my biggest inspirations, if not my biggest ever. And he's saying, yeah, you want to be Malcolm, you want to be Jeff. Shut up.
Oh wait, as a real content creator, I know exactly what Sneako's doing.
Okay?
That's my
Nah,
Somebody-
no nigga put up same sort of same glasses, bro. That's insane, bro. You know what? Why not even myself put a suit right now? But I don't have a tie though. Nah, let's go, let's go,
Who's
let's go,
been
let's go,
creating
let's go.
content for a second, I know what it's like to put on a costume. But for Sneako,
Yeah.
this isn't the first time that he's tried to reinvent himself. Granted, he was young when he was going through all these transformations, and honestly, that's natural when finding yourself. But
Yeah,
after
obviously.
so many transitions, people start to question who you genuinely are. And I think the
Facts.
crazy part of it all is how different some of these versions exactly are. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. Don't be a noob. Subscribe to my tube, you. We're almost at 200K. Don't be late. Now, back into the video.
Check
Not
their money, bro.
everyone's depressed. There's no way that so much of a generation is clinically depressed. To me, that's not possible. There's something going on. But it
Like, let's be honest, bro. This version was so cool.
can't just be that everybody is feeling the same exact symptoms. There's no way that everyone here is clinically depressed. People spend 9 hours a day on their phones. People spend 5 hours laying on their side. Binge watching, man. Everyone binge watches, which is a symptom of depression. And originally my thesis was that it's because everyone's addicted to their phones. It's all day long staring like this.
That first era of Sneako is probably the one that most of YouTube and mainstream culture fell in
Facts.
love with. That was the one who was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about the world, questioning everything, what this is supposed to mean, what that is supposed to mean, and coming up with conclusions about the internet. Even though he wasn't doing the most insane types of YouTube videos, he was still a very creative and introspective person, at least
Facts.
for his generation and on YouTube. Now that questioning and creative nature led him down the pathway that would lead to the most interesting moments on the peer-to-peer podcast, if I do say so myself.
That's how you know if you really like a girl. If you got to cheat on her and see if you feel bad. And
Nah. This is the reason why sometimes not everybody should be allowed to buy a microphone. Like, yes, I even have it right now. Like, I'm literally finding microphones when I already got one, but not everybody should have a microphone. How can you go and say you should cheat on your girl to see if you really love her, bro? If you cheat on her and you don't feel bad, you're good, bro. You don't love her. Like, what type of thought is that? Like, what type of thought process you have to go to? You have to go through so that you come to that conclusion.
What? Sneako, stop.
Wait, is this nigga the same one in this video? What? Nah, bro. Let's clap it up for the boy. Let's clap for Omizi, bro. If Omizi were from this size, to be that in the shape he's in right now, On God, bro. Whenever I meet that guy, I'm gonna give him 5K, bro. 5K my ass, nigga. But congratulations to him, though.
Really like a girl if you got to cheat on her and see if you feel bad, and then
What? Sneako, stop. That's what got you into trouble.
That's
man.
Agent?
Stop.
No. So Sneako used to be with Agent, yeah. This nigga used to work for Mr. Beast. Sneako used to work for Mr. Beast, for you guys who don't know. But he also even used to be on MP streams, used to be with Kaisene. But because of his character, because of he's a snakery person, nobody wanna be with him anymore. He used to be on Eddie Ross streams, he can't go there anymore. He used to be on Fresh and Fit, he can't go there anymore. He used to do streams with Kanye, they can't do shit anymore. And that always make me ask myself, why is Sneako always having beef with everybody? How is everybody always the problem, but Sneako is always the saint? Always think about it.
That's what got you into trouble, man.
Another infamous Schmex Club clip does come from the same era of Sneako content, but you can tell that this is a totally different person. Probably someone
Facts.
that people would say is on the more normal side of things, outside of letting your girlfriend get pounded out. But we all know that this time period in history will lead Sneako down this pathway of what would be some of the worst content and worst person put out on the internet. This tweet reads, the incel culture that has been pushed by Andrew Tate, Sneako, all these red pill
Nah. It was Andrew Tate. Don't give Sneako the type of push he doesn't deserve, bro. Andrew Tate was the man who read the generation 2022, and he was the one pushing this shit to hate on women non-stop, and for a time it worked, which always gonna bring me to this point. Everybody stop following the crowd. Be yourself. Have your thoughts, bro. Have your thoughts. There's a whole lot of propagandas and everybody fall for whatever, bro. You just wake up in the morning 2022 and red pills on top, and everybody hating on women. Talking about how women are useless. You got niggas like Andrew Tate pushing shit like that. And you move. And you wake up in the morning, everybody hate the Jews now. And you're like, bro, what the fuck? What did the Jews do? You wake up in the morning, everybody hate Muslims. You wake up in the morning, everybody hate the Argentinians. They are racist or whatever. Like, you should always have your thoughts on point. You should always have your thoughts according to what you've seen. Never follow this propaganda. There's propagandas left and right, up and down, central, round. Always have your thoughts. Don't be the guy who follow the crowds. Don't be the person who tryna fit in. Have your thoughts. Why not? Why not love the Jews? Why not? What did they do wrong? So, always have your thoughts.
Are responsible for this poor 15-year-old girl getting. When you objectify women and reduce them as something but sheer things to get your gratification from, rejection is not something you expect.
Every man who ends up taking the red pill wants to fall in love. We all do. We want to have kids. We love women. It's not that my heart got broken. It's that all of you are annoying. All women say the same nonsense. All of you are predictable. All of you want...
And now you're saying the red pill is dead because the red pill fell off and they realized they couldn't get money or fame of it, and they get off of it, bro.
Lip fillers. All of you say the same garbage, and all of you are feminists. All of you are always victimizing yourself in a world where you have all the power. You didn't break my heart. You're just annoying.
This right here is where I would probably remark that the spiral went down. I talked about it in the last video, but I believe that Sneako is the introduction for a lot of some of the worst people that we know on the internet today. I'm talking about your Andrew and Tristan Tate, your Myron Gaines and Walter from Fresh and Fit, your Justin Wallace. The entire red pill community got a new breath for a younger audience with this young and unexpected crowd that was introduced to them by Sneako. Now, the reason is because Sneako was going down his own specific journey that he had to, you know, figure out and navigate. But the problem is that he did it online to a mainstream audience.
Facts.
So as you saw, his personality took on a whole different persona.
Facts.
The Tate influence started to take over.
I'm defending Tate because Tate
Yeah.
represents masculinity.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, bro. He wanted to be Andrew Tate, and I want to be Malcolm X. Who knows, bro? The next time this nigga want to be LA for a while, man.
Which is gone on the internet. It's so far gone that people like him are like, he's playing a character. And the same that Leon Lush and H3H3 say, everybody says to me, you're toxic, problematic, insecure, and gay.
This is a guy who won a contest for being a super duper creative from Mr. Beast. This is a guy who was running around with the content group AMP. I was literally there as he was in some of the videos.
This is Omizi. Omizi, you better tell Agent to lose that fucking weight, brother. There's no way Omizi went from this size to look the way he's looking right now. He had a double chin in this video. You see the double chin is gone. You see Agent right now, he was even Agent took some type of, you know, some type of fitness shit, but let's be for real, man. Omizi should give us, no, why did I say us? I don't count me, bro. But this guy should maybe drop like a fitness course or some shit like that, bro. This nigga is a proof. No way he went from this size.
Videos and just hanging out with, especially the New
That's
York
crazy.
rivers like a Phantom or a Kai. And now his whole circle has changed to this red pill manosphere loser
Nah, this club, I don't take it for the boy, man. This nigga lost weight, bro.
crew that is pumping out toxic masculinity.
So this whole crew you see right here, Sneako has beef with literally everybody on this bitch. He have beef with Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate snitched on him, but on the other side, Andrew Tate felt a lot of pressure, and in this life, if this last person should be loyal to, is Sneako. Nick Fuentes, they already beefing. You even used the clip in this video of this guy trashing Sneako because, you know, they also have beef. Sneako say Nick Fuentes is fed, and Nick Fuentes attacks Sneako, he's a brown clown, whatever they say. They already beefing. Marion Gaines, they are beefing because Marion Gaines went to support Andrew Tate in the protest. He went to support Andrew Tate in the protest, and guess what? Sneako trolled him, and now they are beefing. Tristan Tate goes with Andrew Tate. Justin Water, friends of Tate, he hates them, obviously. Clavicular, they're already beefing because Clavicular went to Israel. So when he said this is his clue, no. Sneako is a one man. He's a 20v1 right now because this guy, everybody who ever encountered him, now have beef with him. He was even beefing with Eddie Ross. That's crazy.
Pill content and just some of the worst things that have ever graced this earth. For what it's worth, he wasn't even dressing fly no more. He just looked like a D-bag out of a DKNY or an Express. But then somewhere along the way, he decided that he was going to transition into the Islam game.
I smell the presence of the kuffar. Shoo! Begone, kafir! A Muslim is speaking. Your stench is of the kafir.
And even though there were people questioning the validity of
crazy.
him being a Muslim or not based off of how he was saying specific words, there were people who were actually thinking that this transformation was genuine.
It'll never not be funny that Sneako actually did sincerely revert to Islam because Andrew Tate fake reverted to Islam. Like, Sneako is like actually Muslim now.
But there's one thing to note here.
Andrew Tate is the one who fake went to Israel, man. Sneako following him there, bro. Like, Sneako, imagine being Andrew Tate and seeing there's a little clown literally copying every move you do, bro. That gotta hurt. That gotta hurt, bro. That shit probably hurt Andrew Tate so bad. He tried to do some stupid shit and see if Sneako gonna copy, man.
Islam becomes a major part of his identity, which is fine because when you take on a new religion, normally you have to do some lifestyle changes.
Nigga start shaping his hair for Islam, bro. Nigga became a real Muslim because Andrew Tate fake being one, bro.
Changes, some food, diet changes, all these things are to be true. But in the grand scheme of it, for somebody who has been watching Sneako for a long time, this is another transformation, which was totally, and I do mean totally, polar opposite of his creative content, free living era days.
I think you're going on a good trajectory, but if you want my honest opinion, I think you're also doing a lot of damage and being very extreme in your rhetoric. I don't think you should say things like, I saw like some post that you said like a kuffar should be happy that they're like, we're talking to them or something. I mean, like, this is extreme. I mean, like, whereas it's not like we're angels descended from heaven or something.
Extremism is always bad, bro. Never go to that side.
And look, from my POV, if you change in your 20s, that's pretty normal and pretty healthy. But just like this other Muslim speaker was saying to him, the worst part about all of these things is that he goes on the complete deep end when it comes to these things. Even in his introspective era, he was saying some pretty far out stuff as far as trying to figure out his life, the purpose of young people. But then even as he gets into his free living era, I think it's pretty far out for most people to watch their girlfriends get pounded out by somebody at a Schmex club. And then
No way, this is amazing 5 years ago, bro. What the fuck? How did this nigga look like this, bro? He looked like those African pastors. Okay, why did I say that? But let me say, fuck it. Look like those African pastors who are scammers, bro. Who gonna bring those guys in the churches and do some fake acts like they do miracles and scam the life out of everybody, bro. That's how this nigga look like, bro. He also look like some politicians, you know, who ate everything from the resources and they left everybody looking like me. Skinny as fuck. That's what it looks like.
when he goes into the red pill era, he goes to the furthest.
Nah, let's be first. Sneako was mugging though. He was mugging.
By platforming. Schmex.
This nigga was mugging though. With that cut in the eyebrows, man. That shit was lit, but nah, this is now easy, bro. Look this hand, bro. This is the hand of God. If I put this hand on you, all the sins you did gonna go away. Blessings gonna go over your life. He giving the same fucking vibes.
Club. And then when he goes into the Red Pill era, he goes to the furthest extent by platforming Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Myron Gaines, and Walter from Fresh and Fit. I think
He even took their opinions too.
that's pretty extreme. I didn't even get into the early era of his whole
No, let's go.
figure out his life, the purpose of young people. But then even as he gets into his free living era, I think it's pretty far out for most people to watch their girlfriends get pounded out by somebody at a Schmex Club. And then when he goes into the Red Pill era, he goes to the furthest extent by platforming Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Myron Gaines, and Walter from Fresh and Fit. I think that's pretty extreme. I didn't even get into the early era of his whole conquest where he started platforming Kanye West and making him mainstream and popular again. And then on the Islam side of things, he's pretty extreme. All of these are super duper on the opposite ends of the spectrum. But I think if you wanted a clear example as to how far Sneako was willing to go when it comes to changing his personalities, I think the Andrew Tate of it all is a perfect scenario.
I'm
Facts.
defending Tate because Tate represents masculinity, which is gone on the internet.
For years, Andrew Tate wasn't just another person that Sneako associated with. In the eyes of his audience, he was somebody that he really looked up to, defended
Facts. Me too, bro.
routinely. Some would even go as far as to say idolized. They existed in Red Pill circles together. They streamed together. They partied together. This would become somebody that Sneako was associated with and maybe as a byproduct would introduce his young audience to. But then all of a sudden their relationship just fell apart. And now months later, Sneako is denouncing everything. And I do mean everything that has to do with Andrew and Tristan
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Tate snaked on him, but you can never be loyal to Sneako.
Tate and the whole lifestyle and ideology that they've been preaching for the past few years.
Yeah, they was talking about brotherhood, bro. Stay strong as brothers, man. But on Sneako is right about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a snake. Andrew Tate is not a good person. So why not fuck him up? Somebody call me up. Yes. Hey. Okay. Good job. Grave.
When I see Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are in jail, inshallah, I hope they rot in jail for the rest of their lives.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. Saying that shit's crazy.
Wallahi, I do. Allegedly, I think they're guilty. I hope they rot in jail forever. Wallahi, I do. I pray for the kuffar humiliation.
But see, this is where a lot of people have a problem with a Sneako or anybody who does these.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. This guy may praise you today, and the next morning when you're in jail, you're gonna be dancing on your grave, bro.
Radical online changes. When you look at the charges as to what Andrew and Tristan Tate are facing, nothing is new. The personality isn't new.
Nothing is new. He always had the same charges, but why doing this shit right now? Why didn't do this back in the 2022, 2023, when it was on house arrest? Why now? Because they switched up on you. That's why you're doing it. Stop acting as if you went through the case, seen the evidence, no, you didn't see shit. You hate them now, that's why you're against them now. But before, when everything was good, when they had numbers, when it was popping up, before they even switched on you, whatever, you was defending them nonstop.
The crimes that they're facing aren't new. The allegations aren't new. Nothing about them has changed, but the date on the calendar, to be quite honest with you. Their beliefs still are the same. Their ideologies about women are still the same. All of these things remain the same. So when you look around, you've kind of got to ask yourself, well, what has really changed? Was it the fallout that made things happen? Did Sneako actually take a deeper look into these things? Maybe he was blinded by the friendship of it all. Maybe he's ebbing and flowing with his community to make sure that he's still popular in their eyes. But I just find it strange with what most of the internet does find strange as well is that, hey, how come you're riding with this guy and saying that he's innocent, and then when your friendship / relationship starts to fall apart, all of a sudden they deserve to rot in prison. Allegations are allegations. Crimes are crimes, regardless of the friendship status. And influence is influence, something that you ultimately do have. It's kind of reckless to go out there and defend the guy knowing or even thinking that there's a level of guilt involved in their actions. To hell with the whole concept of like, you know, there's some benefit of the doubt here because it's my friend. If you think that this person did this, you can distance yourself wholeheartedly. But it's just strange that now all of a sudden, hey, this guy deserves to rot in jail as if this is something new that's going on. And so now people are questioning him. Do Sneako's worldviews and beliefs change as his friends do, as opposed to getting some of his own? Now on the surface, Sneako...
This guy was praising Aiden Ross, say how Aiden Ross is a good person. And then he was attacking him how Aiden Ross got a lot of kids addicted to gambling. And I'm like, brother, you was Aiden Ross' friend when he was still a gambler for years. So why you attacking him now? Because Aiden Ross called you out, is now why you attacking him about gambling? That's the problem with Sneako, bro. Always avoid people like this. Always avoid grifters.
Separating himself from all of these old friends and old ways is a positive thing. I mean, look at the circle of dudes that he was around. I can't tell you how big of losers everybody in this picture is. Tate, Clavicular, Nick Fuentes, Sneako, Myron. These are the Red Pill Avengers. Now, just as of January this year, they were still publicly associating with each other. But now, all of a sudden, they are clashing day in and day out. And it's Sneako who is the one that's on
the guy who preached brotherhood. They are fighting each other, bro. The girls are fighting, man. Insane.
The opposite end of the spectrum from these guys. Whether it be his public lashings for Nick Fuentes.
He goes on a show and he talks about Hassan Piker. Hassan's a communist and he's anti-white. Hassan Piker is far whiter than Pablo Fuentberg. Avocados from Mexico. Hassan Piker, 100% European. Pablo Fuentberg is a Mexican Sephardic Jew.
Or whether it be his admonishings of Andrew Tate and all of the things that he's done. Now Sneako feels as though he's the guiltiest thing in the world all of a sudden.
You made an empire and a career making men and you bragged about it. You went on the Full Send podcast and bragged to Steiny, Salim, and Kyle that you went under the desk to start typing and knew the best ways to make guys. That was your empire. That's how you built it. That's how you made a name for yourself. That's how you're rich.
Hell, he's even had issues with newcomer to the Red Pill Avengers group, Clavicular, which seemed like Clavicular didn't really give a shit. But this one is
more...
it
seemed like... Also, Aiden Ross. When Sneako was calling out Aiden Ross didn't give a fuck. He was like, this guy is a loser, bro. No wonder that nigga don't even pull out to the brain risk anymore. Because it's banned day, bro. You understand? To be the only person to be banned alongside Chad the Builder, bro. You understand the class you win, bro?
Like a moral / ethical dilemma as opposed to like him just outright hating them.
Yeah, we saw this earlier. He's dissing Gaza here.
After we get out of this entrapment here. This is the Gaza Strip.
If he doesn't apologize for this, I am never gonna call him a friend again. Too bad. I was actually just talking to him a few hours ago. I didn't see this before. I can't be friends with somebody doing this.
All of these guys that Sneako was once heavily associated with, once would go to bat for, to the ends of the earth with, ride or die with, he is now beefing with them on a week in to week out basis. And on surface level, you would think that like, hey, this is great. He's shedding the Red Pill moniker, shedding the Red Pill community as a whole. Maybe we'll get back to old Sneako or some sort of reformed Sneako, and he could rise back to the level.
This nigga turning to Malcolm X right now. Who is he gonna turn next? Superman? Like, this guy is crazy, bro. This guy, he like, his career when it's said and done, probably gonna be one of the most interesting careers because the way this nigga changing. This guy is moving like a chameleon, changing colors everywhere he steps.
That he once was pre-going down all these transitions and transformations. But the one that's very complicated to me is the Tate of it all. Before people are ready to accept the fact that he is a changed man, you gotta ask yourself, did he stop associating with Andrew and Tristan Tate because he stopped agreeing with them? Or did he stop associating with them because the relationship fell apart? Sneako seems to be loyal of all of the guys that he hangs around with. But once the relationship ultimately sours, there's a ton of criticisms that he could have made years ago that all of a sudden start to come out. Maybe he isn't consciously LARPing, and maybe he's just heavily influenced by all of the guys that he's around at any given time. And now in mid to late 2026, it seems as though he has squashed / washed that old list. He has cleared off that whiteboard, and now he's adding a bunch of new people to said list.
Jake Shields a real one. Tucker Sang was correct right now. I like Tucker. There's a lot of real. Daniel Akikachu is a real one. Muhammad Ajab. We have Sheikh Uthman, Muslim Lantern. Candace Owens is a real one. Andrew Callahan's a real one. Ian Carroll, Professor Jang.
But now,
I swear to God, I give this a 3 months time. He gonna be attacking Candace Owens.
This brings us to the new version of Sneako, because the question isn't whether this version of him is better than the last version of him. If this many people have this much influence over him.
And also, what's the next version about?
His overall personality. The real question is, will this version last any longer than the previous one? You know, maybe every version of Sneako was real at some point. The creative version, the red pill version, the Muslim version, now the current version. I would hope not the time when he was spinning with Kanye. We kind of just bury that. Not because we're trying to hide anything, because that is just some of the most disgusting shit in the world, but maybe that version was real too. I don't know. Hopefully not. Maybe he believed that he was genuinely close to Andrew Tate and some of the stuff that he was saying was true and right. Maybe he changed religions and found solace in the Muslim faith. And maybe he genuinely believes the things that are going on now and what he's saying to be so right and true.
That I also remember that about the Andrew Tate turning Muslim, which was fake. Maybe Andrew Tate pretended to be Muslim to see if Sneako gonna be a Muslim too. And when Sneako became a Muslim, he was like, yo, fuck this nigga, bro. Anyway, do you guys remember when Sneako tried to even copy the Hustlers University of Andrew Tate? Nigga started a shit which was called the active income, bro. I can never forget. I was seeing non-stop ads on Instagram. Oh, why do you need passive income? Make active income. We built this website where we teach you how to make money. Which is one of the reasons why I think Andrew Tate hate that guy so much. Because he did that shit when Andrew Tate went to jail. He went to jail, Sneako launched active income, but the way he failed, oh my god. That's one of his biggest failures, bro. Active income failed so bad. And that's why I heard Andrew Tate talking about how he distanced himself from Sneako because Sneako was copying him and tried to take him out of business, but he failed so bad, bro. So maybe Andrew Tate became a Muslim and did a whole lot of things to see if Sneako gonna follow through. He failed through, bro. It's crazy.
The problem is that Sneako seems to attach himself so strongly to whatever person.
Why these guys always take these pictures? Put them through ChatGPT as if you think we're not gonna notice, bro.
Or worldview he's around, that when those relationships change, he changes with them. And because he's done that publicly for years, every new version of Sneako comes with the same exact questions. I don't like the fact that he does these things so publicly as well. I get it that if you go through a transformation, it's probably gonna bleed into all of—
Yeah, brother, you're the first person to go through a transformation to lose all that weight, bro. Once again, shout out to you, bro.
Your life. But when you mix it with the extremist nature, he introduces some of the worst people to mainstream media. And then he tries to later on, after he's done with it, put the tube back in the toothpaste. My brother, the toys are already out on the floor. Mommy's already stepped on them. The damage has already been done. You can't kind of just reel it back in and say like, oh, Andrew Tate is a bad guy. No, 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 no. So many young people have already been impacted and affected. And sure, maybe you lead some people down a righteous light on the way there. Maybe you do get a guy to go to the gym. Maybe you do get a guy to look at the Muslim faith and find solace in that. And this was probably somebody who was doing some damage in the streets and now has some sort of identity in a faith. I think that all that is cool, but think about all the other surrounding damage that could be done while you were talking about some of the most extremist things in the world. And because he's done this for so many years, every new version of Sneako comes with pretty much the same exact question. Is this actually who he is now? Or is this just who he is until the next phase of Sneako comes?
Yeah, we got another Sneako coming. But at this point, the reason why I even talk about Sneako is not because I like him, it's not because I even get clout from him. It's because I want everybody to know this guy is a grifter and nobody should take him seriously. That's it.